Hi everyone, welcome back and welcome if you're new. My name is Nikki and this is Into Beauty. This is a channel all about beauty, so makeup, skincare and perfume of course. And today we're going to start off our makeup collection video. The reason I'm saying collection video and not declutter video is because I've bought a lot of new products the last few months. And declutter, I'm not ready for it. So this is going to be a series. I'm going to walk you through every single item in my makeup collection, and you can see what I think of them and also all of the products in depth. I'm going to talk about my base products, so primer, foundation, concealer, primers, etc. But also cheek products, bronzer, blush, highlighter, eye products, mascara, eyeliner, brow products, eyeshadows of course, but also my lips. So lipstick, liquid lipstick, lip liners, lip oils, all of the above. And I'm going to split those up into parts because they're way too long. I was planning on putting them in one video, but it's too much to handle. So I'm going to recycle this intro. You will see this every single time, and in the coming weeks we're going to see in depth my collection. In a half a year, maybe in July, I'm going to do a declutter. That's the moment that I will go through them all in depth, going to swatch them, going to compare them, see what I can impart with and what I can't. But right now I haven't tried a lot of them. They're still new in the packaging, or I've just tried them once and I'm not ready to part with them. So that's the reason we're doing a collection video and not a declutter. If you are curious what is in my makeup collections, please stay tuned. Okay, let's start bronzers. First things up, I just did my nails. Don't judge them please. I learned how to do them myself, so please excuse the mess. Next to that, I have a bit of a cold, so if I sound nasally, I am. Okay, that's going to be it. On top are my high ends, on the bottom are my drugstore or low end bronzers. And I do love trying a lot of new bronzers, but at the same time I love my favorites and I don't really venture out that much. So I don't usually pick up some new bronzers unless they're new release. There are a few new ones that I would like to buy just because I never tried the formula and I'm really curious to try it. I have a few new bronzers in my baskets already for a monthly haul, but those won't be included. I don't like face palettes because in my collection they're always in the back of the drawer and I don't use them. So I depotted my only face palettes that I had from Hoola and I just broke them up like the blushes and highlighters and the bronzers. Except for this one, the Makeup Revolution one, but we'll get into that soon. So these are all Hoola, all the same bronzer, and it's one of my favorites, Hoola. I've used up multiples. It's a really good shade on me, and this is the regular one, not the light version or the caramel. And as you can see, I had two face palettes as well, and I just put them in some Makeup Geek palettes. This one is the darker one, this one is the lighter one. So I have different shades from Hoola. Let me open them up next to each other. As you can see, they're all quite different, but the same formula, but different shades. Do I really notice it on my skin? No, I don't. But it's a really lovely, smooth formula, really velvety. And I really love this one in the summertime because it's more satin-like bronze, so a bit in between a glowy and a matte bronzer, and the shade is a bit more warm orangey on me, so for the summertime it's perfect. This one is a bit more cool toned, but as you can see, not much. And the regular one, let's see if I can fit my nail in there. This one has the least payoff. Almost feels like a hard pen. The formula in the palettes is different. Keep that in mind. Some people says that don't. I disagree. I can use this in the wintertime and the summertime, no issue, but this one, the dark one, I use in the summertime. So I really love the Hoola. Everybody knows who the Hoola is because I have still 3 left, so that will take me a few years at least. Then we got 2 from McGrath. I've got 2 shades. I've got the Nude Honey and the Naked Desire. As you can see, they're really similar. I bought 3 when we were in the States. I gave one to my baby sister. This one is the darker one of the 2. But this is a really forgiving bronzer. You could really go into your skin with this one and it won't be too much. It's the same kind of satin-like formula. So a bit between a glowy and a matte. More matte than glowy. But it's a subtle difference. As you can see, this one is a bit lighter and a bit more cool toned than the other one. I have these right now since October and I could honestly say that I like them a lot. I've used those quite a bit. And probably I will pick up a new one once these are gone, but just in one shade. Then we've got another depotted one. This is a really crumbly mess, as you can see. This is one of the Guerlain bronzers. I got a packaging that got a mini that broke, so I put it in a compact. I do love the bronzers, but this one has a lot of heartburn already. It's really hard to pick up, so I don't really see the hype. It's a bit orangey. Is it a good bronzer? It's okay. So I'm not really a fan of the Terracotta bronzers from Guerlain. I might pick up a new one to see if it's a problem with a mini, if they got a different formula, because I used to like them. Then we got the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is a beautiful glowy bronzer that I recently repurchased in the States. We can't get any Tarte over here. I'll put it over here. And this is a really good bronzer for the summertime. It's a really glowy, warm, smooth bronzer, and I really love this in the summertime when I'm getting a bit of a color. Last summer this one was out and I was like, okay, when we're in the States I have to pick up a new one. I am curious to try any matte bronzers from Tarte, so maybe next time we're in the States, probably this summer again. Then we go to Chanel. This is not a bronzer. Okay, hear me out. Chanel doesn't really has a good bronzer formula in my opinion. So what I did is their lovely pressed powder in the Healthy Glow formula, and I bought a darker shade. So this is the B60 in the Healthy Glow Sheer Powder, and this is a beautiful glowy but matte at the same time bronzer. So there's a really glow within. It's a really good shade match, has a bronzer, and because it's a powder you can really build it up and it won't look any muddy or so. This is a really glowy bronzer, as you could see, but this is just a healthy glow. So not a shimmery glow, but a healthy glow. If you don't like the bronzers from online, but you would like to get a bronzer from that brand, just try to pick out a darker foundation powder, or even when their bronzers are too warm, a darker shade could work. Then we got a classic again, the Nars, the Laguna bronzer. Used it quite a bit, and I do like this one in the summertime. It's a bit too... I can use it in the wintertime, but I rather use it in the summertime. It's more cool tone than the Tarte bronzer, but has a bit of the same sheen. It's a bit in between those two, if you look at the glow, but the same depth as that one. So I really love the shade, I really love the formula. It's a really lovely bronzer. A classic for a reason. Another classic is the Bronze Goddess from Estee Lauder, and I got it in the 02 medium. The light is really light, even for me. I love to use this one in the summertime. It's such a huge bronzer that I often forget it. It's in the back of the drawer. But the shade is so gorgeous. It's that ready toned bronzer. So like you have been sun-kissed. It's more like you have been too long in the sun, not that muddy orangey bronzer, but more that reddy bronzer. So if you're looking for a reddy bronzer because you are more pinky toned, like a redhead or It's really, really light with pink undertones. Try this one. It's a really good one for people that turn a bit red in the sun. This one will make you look bronzy but reddish. At the same time, when you look at the Nars bronzer, that won't work for you because it's too orangey. This is better for more yellow skin tones. I am a neutral undertone, but I do bronze red. So in the summertime, this one is better. But after my tan fades a bit, this one is better matched because this one would look a bit more blushy. But an absolute must have and a really good bang for your buck because this one, it's with 0.74 ounce or 21 grams. It's the same price as the, for instance, Chanel one, and this one has, let me see, 0.42 ounce or 12 grams, so almost half, and it's the same price. So it's a really good price on that. This one is the Dior one. I just looked it up and they still have it on the Dior website, so you can still pick it up. Honestly, get it. It's so beautiful. This is the Dior Forever Natural Bronze Glow in 051 Peachy Bronze. This is a limited edition. They had more colors and I saw that they still had some colors left. It's so beautiful. I am planning to pick up the new bronzer from Dior, but I haven't yet because I really love their bronzers and all the rest I used up. I go through maybe 1 or 2 bronzers a year, so sometimes more often, but I really love this. This has the same undertone as the Lauder one, only more peachy. If you just use the bronzer, it will be a lovely darker bronze, bit more reddish, as you can see. But with the peach in there, it's almost like a bronzer. I use it as a bronzer at least. So, but if you just look at the bronzer shade, it's a gorgeous neutral toned bronzer. More peachy tone in there, so it's really flattering on the skin. The formula is more like this one, more like the Healthy Glow one from Chanel, and it's just so beautiful on the skin. Really smooth formula. If you do like a really pigmented bronzer, try the Fenty Beauty one out. This one is the Sun Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer in Shady Biz 02. I picked this one up when we were in the States last fall, if I can get it open. And this is so incredibly smooth, so velvety, a really good shade, more lighter but at the same time a bit more cool tone. It's a beautiful shade for me in the winter time. As you can see, those are more summer shades. This one is a really good winter time, just like the Hoola one or the McGrath one. So when you look at the formula, this one from McGrath and the Fenty one are really similar, but the Fenty one is even smoother. So it's really lovely. The McGrath one is more neutral, this one is a bit more yellow toned. So if you are yellow toned in your undertone or olive, try the Fenty one. Or otherwise try the Path one. But I do love it, especially for the winter time. Now we got another classic, the Bare Minerals bronzer in the Endless Summer Bronzer in Warmth. This is a bit darker shade, but cool toned. I bought it for the summertime. And it's a really lovely shade. It isn't as scary as it looks in the pan. You can really build it up, and it's a bit in the same range of the Pat McGrath or the Fenty line. It's really smooth, really velvety, more satin-like. Such a beautiful shade. It really blends well. So if you're scared for bronzers because you over bronze, try the Bare Minerals one or the Path. Really, really smooth. Then I bought this one from Give Beauty in the Marshalls because we can't get any gift over here and I would like to try something from them. And I know what you're going to think, that's way too dark for you. Yes, it is, but sometimes I do makeup on some other people that are around me and I would like to get a darker bronzer, and at the same time when I use it lightly I can still use it, especially in the summertime, of course. See, doesn't look that scary. It's a beautiful reddish brown again, just like the old one. The cream is really good as well. Not as good as some other formulas that I got, but still. Nice combination. I like the regular powder bronzer the best. I just wanted a darker bronzer and this one was really a steal, like 80% off. So I picked it up. If you would like a really smooth bronzer, the Bahama is still a classic and a really good one. It's cool toned, so you can really shape with it and bronze with it at the same time. It's so beautiful, really smooth, really blendable. So if you are a beginner, it's so beautiful. It's a bit more like the Fenty one in formula. Such a smooth bronzer. It's a classic for me. And I'm going to leave this one here because of the glare, so you don't have to see that again. But if you have to try one from the Balm ones, try the Take Home the Bronze. I know this one is an Oscar. They repackaged because they couldn't use that name because of the Oscars. But I still got this one. And I really love the shade. I have to repress it because I hit pen and it became a bit more crumbly. But this is a beautiful winter shade for me. It's more that cool tone shade, so I can really use it as a bronzer and as a contour at the same time. I really love this one. And just like the Bahama, it's a really good for beginners because it's fill proof, it's really smooth, it's really blendable, doesn't blend away either. If you are new to bronzers, try one of the Balm bronzers, it's so beautiful. Now we go to these. These are one of my favorite glowy bronzers. These are the Nabla bronzers, the Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powders in Dune and Ambra. This is the darker one I use in the summertime. This one is Dune. It's such a beautiful color. It's more in the lines of the darkness from the Bare Minerals bronzer, but more cool toned or neutral, I would say. And every time when I'm wearing this, I get loads and loads of compliments because people really love the glow on my face. And this one is Dune, the one that I really love to use in the winter time. Such a beautiful formula, and it's baked, so a really smooth formula because of it. Really velvety, same formula as the Pat or the Fenty one, if you ask me. Same smoothness, same velvety feel. Really blendable. So for beginners, for pros, doesn't matter. The Nabla Skin Bronzing Bronzers are such a beautiful glowy bronzer. I dare to say my favorite glowy bronzer out there. Another really beautiful glowy bronzer is a repurchase. Just bought it in the States again. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Sunset Striptease. I used this one up 3 times. It's such a beautiful glowy bronzer and I really love to use in the summertime. It's the same glowiness as the Tarte one, but it's lighter. So it's a beautiful shade for the winter time. I still do use it as in the summertime. Let me grab the Tarte one again. It's the same kind of glow. It's so beautiful. Are they dupes? Maybe. Really similar at least. Same formula, same kind of smoothness, same kind of texture, same amount of time that they stay on the skin. But this one is a fraction of the cost. Once again, I repurchased this one as well, so I really love it. But due to the shade, I like the Tarte one better in the summertime and the Wet n Wild one better in the winter time. This is an absolute must-have for me. So, for glowy bronzers, yes. Absolute yes. If you don't like that much glow, go for this one. I know it's not a bronzer, but still. This one is the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer in the shades Buttercup. I bought this one in the States as well, because they were all sold out in the Netherlands every single time. And it's exactly the same feeling as the Fenty one. Exactly, spot on. But I don't like the coloring. I can make it work, But if you look at the Fenty one, it's so beautiful. And I tried like 3 bronzers. So it wasn't my fault or anything that I picked out the wrong one. But it's a really strange shade. And this one looks like yellow next to it. It's a nice reddy bronzer, but it's not red like the Bronze Goddess. This is a red bronzer. What is this? I don't know. And I'm really building it up. Like, see? I've quite a lot of powder. Doesn't matter. They look so strange. They have really weird undertones. So I am going to pick up different shades because this shade is just not for me. But yeah, I don't know what to do with it. The formula is amazing, but the coloring, that needs a lot of work. So I do kind of get the hype if you have a color for your skin tone, but for a light skin tone like me, which should be easy, not really. Then we got this one from Makeup Revolution, the Mega Bronzer in 01 Cool. And this is just as big as the Bronze Goddess one. Same type of feel, really lovely, smooth. And this one is an actual good bronzer, as you can see. This is a bronzer. I don't know what it is. This is a bronzer, come on. And the smoothness is really lovely. I use this one because it's so big. Also on my body, I use it on my face. You can't see that I use it, but I did use it a lot. Past summer I used this almost every single day, so just a gorgeous shade. Just like the cream bronzer, I will talk about that one later. A beautiful, beautiful bronzer. Makeup Revolution does bronzers really, really well. Then we got the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. I used to love this really, really much in my teens. So I picked it up for a full face of Essence. And it's okay. Doesn't really have any payoff. It's a okay formula. It's nice and smooth. It's just a bit light orange. Doesn't really do much. So I think they adjusted the shades. I don't know. This one is a 01 Natural. I will try to pick up a darker one, but yeah, I don't know. Then we go over here. This one is a Colourpop bronzer. I picked it up last time. I picked up Colourpop, not the one you see in my monthly haul, but the ones before that, maybe half a year before that. This one is in the matte bronzer in Coconut Beach. It's an okay for a smooth formula. The same as the Bare Minerals as smoothness. It's an okay shade. It's good for the winter time. This one is an absolute example for an okay bronzer. Just okay. Isn't really good, isn't really bad, isn't really good of a shade, isn't really bad of a shade. So it's right in between. And that's just the reason why I don't use it. Because it's not special, it's not calling me. And we got this one from e.l.f. This one is the infused bronzer in light, I believe. And the formula is quite okay. It's a bit orangey. I don't really use it because of the shade. Yeah, I'm not hugely fan of this bronzer. It's just like the Colourpop one. Okay, but wrong shade. Then we got this one from L'Oreal, the Bronze to Paradise. I've got the shade Light, I believe. Picked this one up a few months ago. And it was recommended to me. I do like the formula. It's really, really, really lightly pigmented. So because you can't go wrong with this one. It's quite smooth. It isn't as smooth as some of them, but it's quite okay. And I can see why people like this one. The shade is quite well as well. It isn't amazing though. Not my favorite formula. Then this one is the Milani bronzer in the Sunkissed 02 Silky Matte bronzer. And this is one that I do really like. The smoothness of the powder is so amazing. It's similar to the Revolution one, similar to the Fenty one, to the Pat one. But a really good shade. This is what I'm talking about. A bronzer. I want more of a cool tone bronzer that I can use as a bronzer and contour at the same time. I want a warm bronzer just like the Estee Lauder one, or I want a more warm tone bronzer, but that I can use in the summertime. If we put like Bahama next to it, you can see this one is darker but quite similar in tone. If you put the Pat next to it, lighter but quite similar in tone. The Revolution one, quite similar in tone. So I really love that kind of shade. Sometimes I really love a really warm bronzer as well, but most of the time that would be a shimmery one because I would use that one in the summer. Just like the Tarte one. A beautiful shade for the summertime. That's quite a bit warmer than that one, but so beautiful in the summertime. Another really smooth bronzer is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I got it in this regular one bronzer. It's still as bulky as before with a brush in there and a mirror, but really smooth, just like the Fenty one, just like the Revolution one, etc. The same smoothness. I really dislike the coconut scent. As you might know, I really hate coconut scents, but this is a beautiful bronzer. The only trouble is, this is my summer shade, as you can see. I need a darker shade, because where is it? I can't see it. It's over here, by the way. I've picked it up like 4 times. So I am going to need a darker shade. I used one up completely before, so I'm not sure that they change it. There's a new packaging, so perhaps. But I used one up completely before, so I'm not sure, but I will get a darker one and we'll see. And then we got this one from Rimmel. This one is the Natural Bronzer in 021 Sunlight. This is a classic. This has been there for like ages. It's really similar in texture as the Bronze Goddess from, and a really beautiful, more red tone shade, I would say. Perhaps it's the most similar to the Estee Lauder one that I can find. Let me swatch it that's next to it. Yeah, I think so. It's a bit more orangey, the Rimmel one, but at the same time it's quite similar. So if you like something like a Bronze Goddess, try out the Rimmel one. It's quite similar. This is a bit more red toned, but similar in formula and similar in color. And the last ones up are 2 duos and this palette. So let's see. I bought this one, the W7 Hollywood Bronze and Glow, for kind of a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. Not because I wanted to actually a dupe, but because I really love the bronzer in there. It's really nice and glowy, just like the Tarte one. It's even more glowy than the Tarte, if you ask me. It's more shimmery, so I really love it as a bronze topper. Just like kind of a highlight. So if you are looking for a really lovely summer bronzy goddess-like color, try the W7 one. I know the Charlotte Tilbury one is really lovely. It's more like the McGrath formula or the Healthy Glow one. I had that one before, but I love this one, not as a dupe, but for the glowy topper, and the highlighter is quite okay as well. As you can see, not really intense, but yeah, it's quite okay. So I do like this one. Actually, I've used it many times in the summertime. This one is my second one, so it's almost new, but a really good one for a few bucks. And then we got this one, the Essence Contouring Duo Palettes, and I bought this one for my full face of Essence in 10 Lighter Skin. It is quite bronzy for a contour, I would say. It's a bit darker for a contour, but I do like it. And I think I can get some use out of it. The lighter one, yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Don't know where I would be using this one for, because it's not a really nice highlighty powder. But the contour sides, it's more of a darker bronze for me, but not a contour, but not bad. Then we got this Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour Palette. And would you be surprised, as I would say, this is a repurchase, because I used up every single shade And I mean like every single shade. I have to say those pens are not really deep, but still. This is really the same smooth formula as this one, but loads of different colors, and I really love it for that. So the reddish bronze again, yay for that. Really lovely lighter contour shade, really lovely bronzer shade. This is the closest that I can find to the Bronze Goddess one. 2 highlighties, don't care for them much, but sure. And those 3. So banana powder and 2 lighter powders. Those are okay. If I just get a bronze trio with these 3, that would be amazing, because I love those 3. I really, really do. So I might just take this one apart and just keep these 3 in like a small palette or something, because I really love those. The rest, mwah, they're okay. So probably will be doing that. But remember, this formula, so buttery smooth, so nice on the skin. Really, really lovely. Same formula. I wish they came in like this size, so I could store them easily. But same time, it's really cheap. Like I said before, Makeup Revolution really knows how to do bronzers. Okay, let me wash my arm and let's go to cream bronzers. Okay, this is a smaller collection, I would say. I was not really into cream bronzers. Like maybe a year ago, I already started to find some formulas that I really liked, and then the ball kept rolling. So probably in the next year I will be picking up some new ones. And this one is the Dior Forever Contour Stick, and this one is in 0210. On the website this looked really, really good. This is a bit dark, as you could see. I really love it as a bronzer, but it isn't a contour. So I picked it up in 01, so I really can use it as a bronzer contour like I really like to do. But for the summertime, this is a really beautiful shade, and as you can see, it really shears out. Lovely shade, lovely texture, really velvety, just like their foundation stick. It's one of my most favorite sticks out there. If you're still doubting if this is a really good formula, it absolutely is. It's a beautiful formula, just like the foundation stick. It's absolutely worth it. Another one that I really like are the Fenty ones. This one is the Matchstick in Amber Suede 09. I picked this one up as a bronzer contour. Just as I said with my powder bronzers, I really like to bronze and contour at the same time. This is a beautiful shade to do it with. And I also got a small one in the shade Amber 01. Was just in a 2-pack, that's why it's a mini. A bit of a darker shade, but a really beautiful color and really beautiful formula. This one is more forgiving. The Dior one you can really shear out. The Fenty one not so much. So really don't put them directly on your face. Just warm them up on your skin, on your hand, and pick them up with a brush. Way more forgiving. And now you can see this one is an actual bronzer, so a bronze contour, and this one is just a contour, the Amber one. And now you can see how bronzy this one is, and perfect for the summertime. Actually, let me grab the new Dior one. Okay, this is the other Dior one that I picked up in 01 light, and this is the other color. This is more like that contour bronze, but it isn't a bronzer. This is a bronzer. This isn't. They're made as contours, so it makes sense. But this one looks like the Fenty one in Amber. But this is a real contour, so I can use this one as a bronzer and this one as a contour. If you would layer them, however. Really beautiful cool tone bronze. Don't forget that you can layer your cream products. This is too warm for the winter time. Now it's perfect. And another one is the Milk Stick. This is the Sculpt Stick in Toasted. And this is just a beautiful shade as well. But again, a contour stick. So more like the Amber one from Fenty and more like the contour shade from Dior. It is a bit of a lighter formula, so you can really sheer this one out. You can't with the Fenty one. This one is more beginner friendly, more better for the winter time for me, but I like the formula of the Fenty one better. It sets down, really stays in place. Then we got these from Colourpop. They have been recommended to me. These are the bronze sticks in Laguna Beach and La Jolie Cove. And these are more bronzy. These are not contour sticks, these are bronzy sticks. And I do like the formula. I've got a more contour bronze and a more bronze shade, so really lovely shades. This one is more for the summertime for me. I can use it in the winter time because of the depth, but I like these shades better in the summertime. And this one is better for me in the winter time because of the shade, not because of the depth. But they really sheer out just like the milk ones. This one is a nude to me. I picked it up when we were in the States and I haven't used it much. But this one is more like the Tarte bronzer, only in a cream version. So I'd rather use this one in the summertime as maybe a bronzy topper or just as a regular bronze. I do like the color. It's not too much. This is my winter shade, my inner arm. So I do like it. Don't love it yet because I haven't used it much. This one is from She Glam. This one is the Sun Sculpt Liquid Contour in Golden Sun. A beautiful shade. I bought She Glam about a year ago just to try them out, and I really am impressed by this one. Not so much by the other ones, but I really love this formula. It's a beautiful contour bronze that really blends well, really stays on. A beautiful shade as well. I really like to use this one in winter time. Then we got two of these squeezy tubes, one from e.l.f. and one from Makeup Revolution. I don't really love this one from e.l.f. I do have the new liquid contours from e.l.f. in the camo version in my monthly haul. I do like the shade. It's a beautiful contour shade. It's quite sheer, so it blends away and it doesn't really set. But it's okay. It's okay. Wouldn't recommend it though. Then we got the Glow Edit Cream Contour Bronze in Light from Makeup Revolution. And this is more of a bronzy shade, but a really strange undertone. I really can't see how this is a bronzer. This is a really strange shade, just like the next one. I have to mix this one, otherwise it will look really, really strange. Perhaps if I do like this, would be a bit better. I think so. But this one I can't use on its own because the shade is so weird. I haven't really tried it out because of it, so because the next one up in the shade isn't really much of a better shade as well. I checked. Then we got the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I've got the shade Sunkissed and it's too dark. I haven't used it much because it's too dark. I bought it online and was like, yeah, sure, I can use that. Well, it's not for me. It looks really patchy because of it. So I still have to pick up a lighter version, but I still haven't. I put it on my list though. After I bought a new one, this will probably go. When we were in the States, I picked up the Tower 28 bronzer in the Sculptino Broad. Everybody was saying it's a really good bronzer, and I agree with the shade. It's a beautiful shade. Did pick out a really beautiful shade. I'm really happy about it. It's more of that contour bronze that I like. But the formula is so sticky. I really don't like the formula. It's okay, I can make it work. But is it really that good? No, not in my opinion. It's too sticky. I'd rather spend my money on this. This is the Revolution Cream Bronze in the shade Light. It's so beautiful. It's almost the same feeling. You have to warm it up in your fingers because it will dry down. It's such a beautiful bronzer. You can really blend it out. It's a beautiful shade as well. It will self-set, so you don't have to set it if you don't want to. It blends beautifully. This one is still sticky. This one is almost velvety. It's such a beautiful shade. One of you guys picked it up as well and really liked it. So don't hesitate. Pick this one up. Not this one. I do love the shade though, so I will use it, but I have to set it down with the bronzer, otherwise it will look really strange. Then we got these three. I had this one first, so let me start with this one. This is the Chanel, the Les Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in 319 Soleil 10 Bronze. It's a really long name. As you can see, I used it quite a bit because it was domed before. The big one is usually out of stock. Don't grab the big one, grab the mini. This is a mini. Come on, this is a mini. It's so big. It's bigger than the Anastasia one. It's 30 grams, it is 15 grams. So half the size, but I had this one for 2 years and I haven't used it up still. This is a bronzer that I use more in the summertime because of the shade. Really have to be careful with my nails. But it's a beautiful summertime shade. I can use it in winter though because it's so light. But it's a beautiful bronzer and I really love the formula. Is it worth it? Yes, it is absolutely worth it. It's a beautiful bronzer and I really like it. It stays on all day. It's a beautiful shade match. It's really healthy, glowy. It's really gorgeous. Do get the mini though. It's about 30 bucks, I believe, the mini. And you won't get through it unless you use it, like say, every single day, and you will get a year's worth out of it. So it's worth it in my opinion. Then we got the Anastasia one. This one is the cream bronzer in Sunkissed. I saw on the website from Esprit that we only sell 2 shades over here, while the Anastasia website has 6. I'm not sure, but that's why I picked this one out. It's quite a bit orange. But if you look at next to the Chanel one, it doesn't really translate like this shade onto my skin. So let me put it over here. Really strange shade, but at the same time it does work. So I'm not sure how. It's almost like the same coloring of the Makeup Revolution one, as you could see. But it does work. So next time I'm on the Anastasia website, I will be looking for another shade because I really love this formula. Maybe even more than the Chanel one. This is more matte though. This is more glowy. So if you like more of a glow, try this one. But I love the creaminess of this one. Usually it doesn't translate like this on the skin. So I can still use it. Doesn't really bother me. And the last one up is the Soul Body Bronze in Light, the Face and Body Bronzing Balm. Another recommended product to me. Completely new. Let's swatch it together, okay? It is in my Shop My Stash right now. Ooh, really creamy. Really creamy. Beautiful shade though. Happy about that. It's a true bronze, not a contour bronze. But it looks beautiful. I can see why people love it. Really lovely formula. Really blendable as well. I think it's really forgiving. Yes, I really love this one. So I will be testing this one out in the coming months. I will let you know in my next Shop My Stash what I think about it. Okay, that's were all my cream bronzers. If there is any kind of bronzer that I should pick up because you're like, oh, you don't have that one, please let me know. I already have the new Lancome bronzer in my monthly basket and the new Dior Forever bronzer like you saw. But I am willing to pick up some new bronzers, so please let me know what should I pick up. And I am planning on picking up some K-Beauty ones because I don't have any K-Beauty bronzers because there are not that many, because I don't like really bronzy, they like blushy. Okay, that's going to be it. Don't forget to leave down in the comments below which product you would like to see a review of or you would like to get some more information about. Please let me know, I will make a video out of it. And also, please give your recommendations of the products I should buy down below so I can check them out and I can add them to my collection, to my monthly hauls. I'm really curious what your opinion is. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell and give it a like so I know you love these videos and I can keep on doing them. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye!